Hey, when you go in and you get that extra value meal, aren't you getting a deal? Well, maybe, maybe not. Takes us to this week's case. Involves a real woman who was in Chicago and she was buying the extra value meal at McDonald's. As it turns out, and as she realized later, that she paid in reality 11 cents more than if she would have bought each of the items individually, because in the extra value meal that she bought, there were 2 burritos, hash browns, and a coffee. And then she realized later that if she, and she paid $5.08 for that, then she realized later that if she would have bought them separately, the 2 burritos, the hash browns, and the coffee, it would have only cost her $4.97. And she said, this is a real ripoff. I'm paying more money for the extra value meal than I am buying these items individually. So she saw an attorney about this. The attorney said, you know what? I think you've got a class action here. You didn't suffer a whole lot of damage here. I mean, it was only 11 cents more. But if everybody out there is paying 11 cents more, this is a real ripoff that McDonald's is engaged in. So he then brought a suit, and the suit was brought in federal district court in Chicago. And there, he argued on behalf of this woman and now the class of people who also were suffering the same damages by buying an extra value meal when they could have bought things cheaper if they would have bought them individual. And he is saying, hey, McDonald's really screwed up here, and therefore McDonald's is at fault. McDonald's is ripping people off, and this suit needs to go forward. Now, class actions must be certified before they can go forward. That means basically that the judge needs to look at the class action and see if there's any merit to it. So the U.S. District Court looked at this and said, well, on the face of it, this does appear to be a case that has some value, because here we've got McDonald's holding out the extra value meal, and in reality it's costing people more money to buy the extra value meal than it is to buy each individual item. So this, on the face of it, does seem to have a superficial appeal. But then the judge reflected on it and heard the arguments from the McDonald's lawyers, and the judge came away saying, you know what, McDonald's, you're not at fault here. You're really not at fault here. And the reason I don't find that this is really a class action that can go forward is because the consumer comes in this instance, this woman could come in, she can look up on the menu board there and see what's up there. She can see all the various prices, and she has the ability to add up the cost of the various separate items, and she has the ability to compare that cost with the extra value meal cost, and she can decide, is it cheaper to buy each of the items individually, or is it cheaper to buy them as an extra value meal? And therefore, she, the consumer, makes the decision. The consumer is not in any way misled, because everything's up there, big and bold, on the menu with the prices attached to it. And therefore, McDonald's is not in any way misleading the consumer. Sure, they're calling it a extra value meal, but the consumer can determine very quickly that it's really not an extra value meal, because it would be cheaper to buy these items individually. Based upon that, the federal district court judge said, guess what? I don't find this to be a class action, and guess what? This case isn't going forward. Okay, bring you this case, you bring cases every week so you understand how the law works. I'm David Allen.